Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome to it. Another week of On the Block starts now. It's 3 o'clock on Monday. Glad you're along for the ride. Wherever it is you are, sitting in your cubicle at work, driving around town, doing errands, whatever it is you're doing, thanks a ton for being with us. You got AO, you know Strick. Jay will be along for hour 2. Sitting in, that means it's Boss Man DP. Welcome in, DP. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Let's talk sports.
Yes, let's. But first, I have to make an admission.
Uh-huh.
Your boy's sore. From shooting baskets on my own this weekend.
Oh, Austin.
It's not all over. It's my right hip, the muscle on my right hip.
Oh, Austin.
It's not the best shoes, not conducive, but the driveway opened up. Kid was down for a nap. I had to go do it. And then yesterday, I'm playing with the kid as he's getting up from his nap, trying to have some fun with him. Smack my elbow on his crib. There's a bone bruise. So the bright side of your boy's sore over here, DP.
This is what I've had this conversation with Rashawn. I've had this conversation with AD. I've had it with Nick. We're spectators now. we're spectators. We're spectators and talkers.
Yes.
Like we're at. Look, it was a full corner. I laugh because a buddy of mine from Salt Lake, he's having this big charity softball game out there, and he asked, you want to come out and hit a few,
Did he ask you to lace him up or just hit
yeah, well, he wanted me to lace him up because last time he and I played in one of theirs, it was probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
Easily 15 years ago. And I had to remind him that I'm retired now. I am fully a spectating, let me sit my behind in the chair and watch other folks do whatever this thing is required. So that's where I stand in it. And I keep trying to remind y'all, we're not teenagers anymore. We're you got a 3 in front of your number, right?
2.
You're still in your 20s?
Yeah, I'll be 27 in 6 days.
All right, you shouldn't be sore, bro.
That's how bad it was.
I know. You should not be sore.
I know.
I don't ever remember being sore until I was like 35. That was playing a ton of playing a ton of ball.
Yeah.
So that was probably why, is that I was still active. And here's the other thing about y'all, about young 20-year-olds now. I'm old school. We stayed in shape because we went dancing 5 nights a week. We went dancing 5 nights a week. And I don't mean like stand 2-step. I mean full on MC Hammer, Michael Jackson, Prince. Like we New Jack Swing. We're gonna shake it up. So the hips got work, the legs got work, your core got work every night. Matter of fact, you sweated through 2 shirts to do that. Y'all don't do that.
We do not.
And you don't do it here, which is there's no grown-up club for you being active, you folks being active. You guys don't do that here. So, y'all might need to work on that.
I was less sore after playing pickleball with my wife than I was shooting hoops on my own. It was bizarre.
Yeah,
I'm in pretty good cardio shape chasing my kid around.
You move differently.
Yes.
Your core's good. You just the explosive movements are different. I literally was talking to somebody earlier about BP with DP Friday. And the part that people miss about that is I know that on Saturday morning, whoever goes down and takes swings Friday, their hands are going to be bruised and their ribs are going to be sore.
That oblique is going to feel opaque.
Oh, you are going to feel it Saturday, because I'm trying to think of the last time I did it down there. That I had the bruise right where the knob of the base. And it was in the shower the next morning where I didn't really think about it. It was,
you're there. Hello.
That's a thing. Because if you haven't gripped and ripped 50 times, 75 times, 100 times,
you're not ready for it. You're not used to it.
No. So Austin, I send my regards. Hopefully lesson learned.
No, absolutely not. There's nothing I love more. It's cathartic to me to get out and just shoot hoops in the driveway. The only lesson is I tried to class it up. So it was mother-in-law's birthday. We saw some friends before as well. So I was trying to like not like classy, but
you need a rebound is what you're telling me. You need a rebound.
I wouldn't turn it down.
Right.
I just need better shoes is really what I think it was. I didn't wear the athletic shoes.
Well, and then also go to a gym. Get your run on, which lets you pace. Because if it's just you will go outside of your norm. If you're in a run, you will go, oh, you know what? That up and down right there. You figure out pretty quickly where you are in things. I laugh at myself because the idea of somebody saying, you want to go shoot some hoops? I want to. I want to. But I have a 6. I have a 6 in front of mine now. No, y'all go ahead. I'll rebound for you. And even then, I'm only rebounding short rebounds, Austin Norman.
Right. Wingspan. Maybe a shuffle.
Hey man. I'm Rick Mahorn rebounding. Like if it's I'm not doing the Dennis Rodman springy, explosive, bouncy corner to corner rebound. No,
you're not doing your point guard out of area, check him and go get it. No.
I'm the let the big guy rebound and then walk it up point guard now.
He's got to get position, coach.
Right.
Let him get down there.
Right. Like
man's tired.
And I'm waiting for him to outlet to me. Like wherever I am, hitting me with that.
We're not banana cutting.
We are not. We are not. No, we are not. We are not UCLA in this thing. No, sir. Find me with it and let's go.
We're just 40 minutes of heck. That's all we are. 40 minutes of heck.
No, we're 40 minutes of meh.
Nah. Fair enough. What is not met is meat from the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, wonderful title sponsor of the show. Anyone from the Mercado, if you're listening, let us know if you want to take BP. Text in 402-464-5685.
Yes.
Would love to have you down there with us taking swings at the Salt Dogs. If you're in the same boat that we were talking about, you're going to be a little bit sore. At least come down, hang out with us. We'll get you down on the field, meet the guys. But seriously, we'd love to have you come down.
Laugh at yourself.
That part.
Laugh at yourself because we are.
Yeah. At you and at ourselves. So just know the feeling is mutual. I'm also kind of laughing at Wisconsin a little bit here, DP. They made the bold move over the weekend, must have been Friday officially, of suing Miami. They sued a fellow Power 5 school. I'm going to read this from Yahoo just as some background explainer, and then we'll get into the discussion. So Ross Dellinger writes, in a first of its kind and perhaps a precedent-setting move, Wisconsin is seeking unspecified financial damages and a declaratory judgment deeming Miami's actions as wrongful for interfering with a binding revenue share contract between Wisconsin and Xavier Lucas, a former defensive back who left the program in January to compete at Miami. It was a groundbreaking decision in which Lucas transferred without entering the portal that had already closed and after signing the contract with the Badgers. We knew this went on, but Wisconsin actually did it. They actually said, you're not allowed to do that. And this is the first time that we're seeing this. Someone transferred while the portal was closed, and they had signed an agreement for actual, honest-to-God American currency and broke it without playing a snap for Wisconsin.
And took the money and
ran.
Deuces. Here's my thing. All of them are complicit. All of them. We know that the big problem, and it depends on who you talk, because I can't say we all know, because we all don't know that. But there are factions of sports fans who will say it's the wild, wild west. NIL, transfer portal, it's the wild, wild west. But do we know why? Like, have we determined why it's the wild, wild west? And I would say that because there's no sheriff. There are no rules. There are suggestions. And then you have to understand the difference between agreement and contract.
Wildly different.
Right. Like we have a gentleman's agreement.
We had a handshake deal.
We had a pat on the back.
Gave me his word.
He gave me his word. And all, no, not enforceable by law. Not enforceable by law. It's the contract part that you have to not only enter into, but you have to agree on the contract. You have to mutually accept every consequence of the contract. And here's the part. The contracts have to exist because it's the wild, wild west. And it's literally pull your gun, shoot your shot, somebody falls, they fall.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And those are the grown-ups with guns.
Right. It's a completely ready, fire, aim. If
you give a teenager a gun, all bets are off for order, for there be law and order.
Right.
We know that if you give a teenager a gun, we're not quite sure if that teenager washed their socks this week, whether they have on underwear, whether they've have they read a book this week? Have they read the agreement? We don't know.
I think there's one guy who knows how it ends. Mike Breen, his famous line, bang.
Bang. So my surprised face exists because we're not surprised that Wisconsin's mad at Miami, who is disregarding Wisconsin, the young man who wasn't held accountable, who certainly shouldn't have been, because nobody made you give the teenager money. There is not a parent out there who, if you said, hey, you're going to give my teenage child, a bundle of cash, I would suggest you not do that, because something really bad's going to happen.
Or something really stupid. or something pointless,
or both,
or everything,
or all of it. We know. As a matter of fact, most of the parents will say, don't give me that bundle of cash because I don't have a clue about what to do with it, how to handle it, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us, the first time we get a large bundle of cash, do something remarkably stupid. So all of this is some stranger walking up and going, Austin, I'm going to hand you 6 figures cash and expect you to do exactly as I say for the next 2 years. All you heard was,
I'm going to hand you 6 figures.
Anything after that or aside from that?
And what I heard was, because you give me 6 figures, you have to do what I tell you to do for the next 2 years. Otherwise, you wouldn't have paid me.
Like, literally, the priority was, I got you for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
No. The young man heard cash. Straight cash, homie. Okay. And the parents, that you did this without regard to the parents, because the agreement, in theory, should have gone through family, adults in the family, and legal counsel.
Should have.
Right? If, again, all of you parents out there, think of your 17, 18, 19-year-old, whenever that was, and somebody asking them to enter into a contract. Forget about the agreement, because you wouldn't let them enter into the agreement with a large sum of cash and options. And options, because we now know that what's the comedian said? We're as loyal as our options.
Literally, right.
Right?
Yeah.
We're as loyal and as faithful as our options. If character and boundary aren't currently existing in the space.
Mm-hmm.
So, Miami, what did
My money will not create them. They will not create boundaries. It will not happen.
No. Money erases them. Money highlights the lack of boundary. That's where you start finding out who people really are. It's like, wait a minute.
Okay. So that's the other funny part about this is, number one, Wisconsin wants some money back from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And Wisconsin wants the judge or the court to say Miami did something wrong for interfering. That's what they want. They say, tell us that they did something bad. That's what Wisconsin wants.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of, it reveals who you really are.
Mm-hmm.
The other reason I am fascinated by Wisconsin filing this lawsuit, DP, is that Wisconsin did the same gosh darn thing about 9 months ago.
They're under investigation
Tanji,
as we speak.
John Tanji committed to New Mexico and within a week was enrolled at Wisconsin. Was on campus in Madison.
Literally
Wisconsin did the exact same thing they're suing Miami for. Now they're mad at it. Wisconsin snitched, and they think they get away with
it. That's you going into the courthouse and seeing the same clerk, and the clerk goes, "Weren't you just here? Weren't you on? Didn't you just pay me a fine for this? Like, what are you doing back here? Have you not learned?" Well, yeah, I learned. As a matter of fact. Look, that guy over there. That guy over there did it.
He did me. He did it me.
This is collegiate athletics in full. In full. That you understand that when you open the door to this nonsense, there was a simple thing to say. If, in fact, there is an agreement in place or a contract in place, that in order to remove the person from that contract or the program from the contract, there has to be immediate and full restitution of any funds accepted, distributed to this date. Because then that tells the young man or young lady that I'm accountable for this money and I can't go and make new money if I haven't honored the agreement for the old money. And it also tells you that if you're Miami recruiting Wisconsin's cornerback, that you have to honor the deal. It'll stop a lot of the bad recruiting. It'll stop all the wasteful recruiting. Because then if I know I've got to pay or at least manage it.
Which is what's happening in the House settlement, is that there are now transfer buyouts. So you have to pay essentially the amount to the school for whatever was left unpaid to that player, and whatever money you pay the player that you poach, essentially, you get double counted against the cap, against the $20.5 million number.
Well, I mean, I think they're going to bypass that with NIL. But within the agreement, what the agreement should do is boundary in this particular case, Miami from approaching the young man, one, without knowing what the contract is, right? Because you could say only one contract is valid at a time.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of the way it should be.
Right? Only one when it comes to this is, and if you don't know what that is, then you can't sign into this and you can't recruit it. And the young person will say, hey, Miami, I owe $100,000 to Wisconsin. That's what's owed. And I don't have it. I don't have it. Because then some other conversations happen. Well, how much do you have left? You got it 4 months ago. You already spent it. Okay. You now know who you're dealing with, first of all. But second of all, having that open communication, that transparency that we keep talking about, that people keep running from like ghosts. But it's also to keep Wisconsin and Miami on the same page. Yeah. It holds them both accountable because guess what? Neither of them want to be.
No. They're fighting accountability. As they have for the entire lifespan of their institution.
That's the problem of all of this, is that the programs haven't simply said, hey, let's set somebody to hold us accountable from ourselves. Because the real is they will do dirt to each other, snakes in a pit. Right? Instead of doing work from integrity and character and doing it above board, nobody would stop USC from writing a Nebraska player a check of any amount as long as they got them.
Right.
And there was no retribution.
And that's why I still go back to laughing at Wisconsin for thinking it wasn't a snake in the pit. You did the exact same thing with Tanjay. The exact same thing.
They knew and didn't care.
Right. Until it affected them the other way.
We're Wisconsin, and shucks. Nobody's going to think of Wisconsin the way they think of Miami. Right. Nobody's going to think of Notre Dame the way they think of USC. Nobody's going to think of Nebraska the way they think of Georgia. But the reality is you have to set the same boundaries in place and
apply the same rules to your best players.
Well, I mean, listen, would it be a different recruiting if Nebraska had to pay Georgia for Dylan Raiola's contract?
Much different.
Different conversation, right?
Well, and Georgia would have had to pay Ohio State.
All in full, right? But you can go back, and then the question is how far back you want to go, because you can go back as far as Cam Newton. You can go far back as Earl Campbell. You can go back to Marcus Dupree. You can go back as far as you want to go.
Yeah.
But the reality is, even in recent history, that the Baker Mayfields, the Joe Burrows, the Cam Newtons, the folks who have had to bounce, right? Jalen Hurts, the folks who had to move from program to program for whatever reason, valid or not, that the accountability part still didn't exist. And before you free everybody into this pool, at least put chlorine in the pool. At least clean the pool.
You can do.
At least clean the pool before you allow everybody in it. And and here's the other part. I was sitting and watching, Jaws was on yesterday. And immediately I thought, it's the scene. You went, there are sharks in there. And you probably shouldn't invite all of these people here on the weekend when sharks are in there and they're already eating. They're already eating.
And you said, yep, that's the water for us.
That's water for us. Let's get in. Well, I'm Richard Dreyfuss saying, no, the other guy. We're going to need a bigger boat. Roy Scheider. Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat. Well, NCAA, you're going to need a bigger boat, and you're going to need real shark catchers because this thing is dangerous and brutal.
We need a bigger boat for this conversation. We will build that boat during break, keep this conversation going a little bit, and maybe if we have some time, NCAA football player rankings in the Big Ten.
Yikes!
Is there a Nebraska representation of players with a grade of 90 or higher? We'll let you know as we continue on the block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Husker fans, the 2025 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $185. This plan includes a ticket to USC plus Akron or Houston Christian and either Michigan State, Northwestern, or Iowa. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G2893558.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in on the block. Off Norman DP with you. Jay will be along for hour number 2 and then old school as well. Thanks to everyone chiming in on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. One last thing on the Wisconsin-Miami situation, DP.
Mm-hmm.
I think this goes one of two ways, and I saw someone phrase it pretty well, so I just want to kind of read what they said and then let you respond. Matt Brown, who writes Extra Points, says, either we get a judge essentially saying that tampering isn't a thing and we can safely ignore coaches crying about it, or we finally get enforcement rather than passive-aggressive tweets or complaints to recruiting reporters. Is there another outcome? Do you think this is going to be a slap on the wrist to Miami and business continues apace? Or is this another landmark, hey, times are changing, we're actually cracking down on tampering in college sports?
Who are we talking about setting this rule? The courts?
The courts, as of now.
Is that so? The national courts, or is that a state court?
They filed the action in state circuit court.
Okay, so imagine that the legal definition of contract and agreement is different in every state.
Mm-hmm.
In every state.
Federalism, baby.
Right? The actual legal definition of agreement or contract. Mm-hmm. And then you're talking about a new legal vacuum that is still unclear. The water's still murky. And you're setting standards, you're setting placeholders. What I expect is a placeholder. Because there are programs across the country and states across the country that have already determined we're not paying any legal attention to any of this. We're not going to be held or beholden to any of it.
So do you think this ends up with Wisconsin winning first, Miami appealing, and then this going to the Supreme Court when Wisconsin doesn't like that Miami won on appeal? Is that where we're headed? Are we headed back to the Supreme Court in college athletics?
Well, that's on purpose. It's CYA. It's
Entirely.
Legal CYA
Yeah.
of Wisconsin, Miami, and the young player, all covering their butts, even in a temporary vacuum. That for now, right? What you want to do is to say, this, I feel wronged, but you're not going to be able to get resolution. You're going to get a statement that we're paying attention to this now. But finite resolution,
no.
You're not getting your money back. You're not getting your money back because there's no agreement or contract in place to say that in order for Miami to secure this young player, they need to guarantee whatever money not only was paid, but was offered.
Yeah.
And if you're adding to that, the base would be, and the way it works, let's talk international basketball, NBA, that if I had a player in Lincoln, Nebraska playing CBA basketball, and he was made an offer by an Italian league team, FIBA demands and requires that they honor the contract that exists in full before they move to the next contract. So,
and most often that looks like a buyout.
That's a buyout, but it's also a legal agreement that, one, we're being respectful of each other, and the player just can't bail. Right? So all fences in the yard, everybody's accounted for, everybody's considered, everybody is respected, but everybody follows it through to completion. I just don't think it happens in the near future. And it's not going to happen until it's Georgia, Alabama, or USC, Notre Dame.
But see, I think what's going to happen though, DP, is that when it happens to Georgia or Alabama, let's just say it is Georgia to Alabama right now, still rivals in the SEC, relatively close to the top of their game. Will Georgia and Alabama have the guts to do this, or will they say, you know what, we've gotten away with this, and we don't want to be the ones to snitch because we like the system that we have going. There's no real enforcement. Smaller schools, again, like the New Mexico and Wisconsin example of John Tonje, there's a reason New Mexico isn't saying it. They know they don't have as many resources as Wisconsin to stand up and fight this, so they got to let it slide. Wisconsin and Miami have so little history. They're strangers. They live on the same street, but one's on this end, ones on that. And they're in a similar neighborhood right now. I guess Miami's been a little bit better recently. But I could see Georgia and Alabama saying, yeah, that's just business as usual for us. We'll let it slide. We know you're doing it. You know we're doing it. I won't tell. You won't tell. But Wisconsin, Miami don't have that same understanding. They're not that close.
Well, proximity matters. But here's the other thing. Perspective matters. Because if you're, let's say, Iowa Wesleyan, and you have 3 players, but Iowa wants them. And Iowa says, we don't care because we have more money than Wesleyan. And we have the long game. We have the financial and legal endurance to stand from Wesleyan fighting us. They're not going to put resources, bare resources, slim resources into fighting the giant. Then the question becomes, okay, are you redefining giants, right? Different pools, Power 4, right? That those agreements. Then the question becomes, how do you deal with independence? How do you deal with lower level? How do you deal with JUCOs, right? Because if it's Concordia and their star wide receiver, right? Concordia can't fight University of Nebraska. Can't do it. Right? So who's going to police it? Nebraska? Right? Because, and then guess what? If they decided to fight Nebraska, guess who else do they got to fight? They got to fight Ohio State. They got to fight Michigan. They got to fight the Big Ten. And then they have to fight the NCAA.
It does make me wonder, though, in that example, Nebraska probably wouldn't think twice about it and just take the player. But would Nebraska also be offering a D3 player or an AIA player that much money to begin with?
Absolutely, if they can ball. If they're efficient and good at the one thing you don't have. Look, we've seen players and we've seen wrestlers at lower level programs that came into Devaney and got wins over Nebraska's starter.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you stay bad or do you go get a guy who's better than the guy you have?
You get good.
Right. You get good. And the same thing applies, whether it's volleyball, right? That if all of a sudden somebody had a 5-inch growth spurt while at Kearney or Wesleyan and Nebraska went, whoa.
You're interesting again.
That's a different deal. Okay. Are they going to fight them? Nope. No. Can't do it. Can't do it. So the rich will get richer. The big and fatter will get big and fatter. That's just that's not just a sports thing. That's not just a transfer portal thing. That's who we are.
Sure.
Right or wrong, that's who we are. Is that? And I think a big question as well is, who would Nebraska fight? Who would Nebraska fight over a player?
I feel like the closest Nebraska would have gotten to fighting over a player is if, say, a couple of years ago, Malachi Coleman had committed to Nebraska and then up out of the blue committed to Colorado on his visit out there. Something like that.
Yeah, recent transfers from Nebraska to Iowa. Okay, I will fight you. I will fight you, neighbor. Proximity matters. So, and then, am I punching up? Punching down is going to happen. Punching up, not real sure how this is going to play out.
But see, the punching down, I'm not sure how often that would happen.
That's bullying.
It is bullying. And if you're getting outbid for a player by someone that low, essentially what you're talking about is, would I rather walk on at Nebraska or get a scholarship at FCS?
Would you rather play for a 1AA championship at one of the Dakotas or be 500 at Nebraska?
That's the conversation.
Right. Like that's a little legitimately you go, wow.
Well, and I guess to my point there, if South Dakota State or North Dakota State are willing to pay a bottom third of the roster Nebraska player to come play for them, I'm sure Nebraska wouldn't love it, but I feel like it feels different for, a school like that stealing a player like that, as opposed to, which this will set us up for our next conversation that we'll have, if a conference mate takes one of Nebraska's top 5 or 10 players. That's where Nebraska would be mad. I think Nebraska would be less upset because they just feel like a normal transfer. Oh, you weren't out in the field. You're developmental. good for you.
But
Go
what
get
if
your
it's
money,
the
go
other
get
way?
reps.
What I mean, there are players who Nebraska swung and missed on, who ended up at a lower level school and had greater success than Nebraska did,
Yeah.
and had a long pro career.
Mhm.
Like, we can rattle off that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Mhm.
listen, I think part of the conversation for folks would be identifying what your mission is. Like, what are the ground rules for what you're trying to do?
Mhm.
And if you're Nebraska, you have a set of rules and boxes that need to be checked along the way, and say, listen, we can't miss on our 105.
Right. Cannot afford to.
Right? Like, you can't miss on it. That anybody that comes through the door has to be one of us,
Mhm.
right? So that if somebody else leaves, you feel bad, you feel okay with it.
Yeah. Next man up
You know what?
doesn't
Okay.
make you kick right.
I understand. Like, I fully understand. Go do your thing.
Mhm.
But that we're going to see the identity of programs, the leaders of the programs, and then the conferences. We're going to see who they really are. We're going to peek behind the curtain, and now we get to see what the Grand Ole Oz is really about. Because you can say, I'm about doing all these things and all of these, the whole list of, program commandments.
Mhm.
Are you willing to live what you put on stone?
The Big Ten has thrown its weight behind Wisconsin. They said they are supportive of the Badgers' efforts.
Of
So,
course they are. Terrible.
Until.
Well, and they're fighting
Until.
ACC.
Yep.
If that was SEC, we'd be having a different conversation.
Different conversation.
Yep.
Let's go to break. We mentioned the get good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not everything, but it's not nothing. How many Nebraska football players have a player grade of 91 or higher in college football 26? We'll get to that. What does it mean, if anything, when we wrap up hour one of On the Block?
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G2893358.
Is your child 7 to 8 years old and wanting to get involved in competitive baseball or softball? The Nebraska Dominators have been active in the youth sports community since 1994 and are currently holding tryouts for their 7U and 8U baseball and softball teams. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more info today and provide your player the path to a successful and enjoyable youth sports experience with the help of the Nebraska Dominators.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at
93.7 The Ticket, Fox,
434-2222.
KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly cloudy and breezy with the high near 89. Tonight, showers and storms likely, low near 69. Tomorrow, with a continued chance of showers and storms, the afternoon high near 88. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
It's Austin and DP with you here on The Block. Weekdays, 3 to 5, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Check them out, 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Let's get right to it, DP. Some college football 26 rankings for players were released. You sent this over to me, and scroll through the list of the players with a grade over 91. And you keep looking, you keep looking, you keep looking through the list of just Big Ten players. And you notice something or you don't notice something. That is the Scarlet and Cream.
I noticed what was missing.
The Block N. Not a single Nebraska player with a rating of 91 or above. And if you follow the link back far enough, you find the leaked rankings have Nebraska's highest players rated as an 88 overall.
Who's the highest rated player?
Do you know? Do you have the list in front of you?
Yes.
I do as well.
That's why.
Text line 402-464-5685.
We'll give Salt Dogs tickets for anybody who can tell us who the top ranked player is.
There are 2 people who are tied. I'll give you 1 on offense and 1 on defense.
Yeah, if you could, we have tickets for tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday.
Oh, and Friday.
So, they can pick. So, first person that gets the highest ranked offensive player and the highest ranked defensive player.
The fact that you and I wouldn't have guessed this
offhand. No.
Is, I think, the conversation we need to have. I mean, it's one thing if you look at the video game rankings, their opinions, right? But they try to base it off of what they've seen before for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But even as you and I tried to talk to you, Pete, neither one of us could come up with a definable answer of this player is the best football player on Nebraska's team. And you know who they want. They know who they tell you.
Yeah.
But do we believe them? Do we agree?
Most popular.
Right.
Most popular.
Okay, we got 3464 is in with the defensive player. Sierra Wright gets an 88 overall. So Sierra Wright, 3464. Send in your name to our text line. We'll get you hooked up with Salt Dogs tickets. In your opinion, DP, who's the best player on Nebraska's football team? Who would you say? Best player.
It's always weird that I would have to ask, what am I doing? Am I winning right now? Or am I building? Like, who am I building this around? Or who am I relying on the most?
You got to take the next step as a program. However you define the next step for Nebraska.
Wow. That's really tough. Because
Tomei is in with Dane Key on offense, by the way. So Dane Key, Sierra Wright, your 88th overall, top-rated players on Nebraska's team. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, like the answer has to be Dylan. Like the answer has to be Dylan for a variety of reasons, mainly because we're here and we understand. Right? But that's you explaining, it's like, why are you dating that girl? Right? And you go, you don't understand it. You don't understand how my bank account's set up. Like, you don't understand how my family works. This is what the family needed. Like, my mom was not going to be happy unless it was Dylan Rayola. And that makes sense because it's not a terrible thing.
Right.
But are we, that if you tell me Dane Key is the best player offensively, Sierra Wright falls into the recent Nebraska defensive backs that we see a thing in. We just want to see more of it.
That part.
Right. And then it's your biggest, asset is your availability. Okay. So if that's a part of the equation, we haven't seen Key. And Sierra, we need to see more of. We need to see more of. So that's where I would go. I would almost say that it's Dylan and Emmett. Sierra's only going to be as good as the big thumps up front are going to be, and I'm not sure who those are.
Nebraska's not sure either.
Right.
So.
Right. Like him in the Big Ten, he's going to face some stellar Sunday type receivers on most weeks. Yeah. He's going to face a dude. So then he's left on an island, and then will he get help, which is pressure? And I'm not sure. So I can't say that he's going to get a fair deal out here on the island of Sierra, right? Sierra Island only works as good as the security up front, right? If it's not safe and it's not secure. So that's the side I'm on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Shavers has given us enough yet.
I agree. The other guys on the list, so you mentioned on offense, Dylan Raiola and Emmett Johnson. Those are both 87s overall, top. Then the next two on defense were interesting. At 87, Marquise Watson-Trent, Defensive Player of the Year in the Sun Belt Conference, transferring in from Georgia Southern. Then Marquise Buford Jr., who they have listed here as a safety, an 84.
And we still don't know where his place is going to be or how often, because I don't know, the names are all over the place.
Yeah,
back there. And oh, by the way, the kid Buda Wright is still there and may be the most important defender because he's going to be the veteran mind that gets them in and out of terrible situations with inexperienced and new defenders. Who's going to fill the gap? Who's going to play make from this defense? And if you tell me that it's Shavers and Wright and Junior, okay, but you still need some beef. And the beef has to show up and it has to be profound.
Speaking of beef, my argument for Nebraska's best player would probably be Rocco Spindler. Certainly the most accomplished, coming in from Notre Dame. You probably need it to be either Dylan or Elijah Pritchett coming in from Alabama, but those are two guys that you've seen, need to see more from. And I'm sorry if your best player is an interior offensive lineman, rest of your team probably not as good as you need it.
I can't wait for you to ask Jay Foreman that question about Rocco. I'm just gonna.
It's gonna happen.
I'm just gonna put it on a tee and get out of the way of the backswing and follow through, because I have a sneaky suspicion that he won't feel the same. I don't want to speak for the man, but
well, every linebacker is the best player on the team. Just ask our former linebacker.
Well, that
he sticks up for his own.
Bias is allowed. If somebody said to me, who has the highest ceiling going into this year, it might be Heinrich Haarberg.
Could be.
Like he could flash brighter and higher and more consistently than anybody on that offense because of the expectation that's fighting. He'll have playmakers around him. He'll be asked to be so basic and so good at catching the ball in slants and being more athletic than the linebackers trying to tackle him, which we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen him in open space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tight end in this offense, you can get him the ball early and often. And I think that might be the thing that you circle and go, okay, 10.
Use this.
Okay, 10. Show me what you got.
We'll have to see.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, Jay Foreman is on his way. He is not here yet. We'll go to break, give Jay a chance to get here. If not, DP, good to stick around, talk a little NBA Finals lovable losers.
I'm here for it.
Cool. We'll go to break, hour 2 of On the Block momentarily.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
I want to ride. Do you want to ride? June is officially riding month at Rod's Power Sports, Nebraska's largest volume Honda Power Sports dealership. Come in now and take advantage of huge savings and a great inventory selection during Rod's I Want to Ride celebration days all month long. Simply schedule a qualified demo ride on one of their new Honda motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, or side-by-sides, or purchase a new or used vehicle, and you get a free custom I Want to Ride t-shirt. Plus, all month long, they have 10% discounts on all wearables, parts, accessories, and oil change kits when purchased with a new or used Honda. Free refreshments served each Saturday morning in June. Just show up and say, I want to ride, and they'll fix you up with some free stuff and help you pick out that new ride. Come ride with Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln or online at rodspowersports.com. For your safety, read the owner's manual and always wear a helmet and eye protection. Honda Power Sports vehicles are for riders 16 years and older. Honda recommends that all ATV riders take a training course.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 24th are $1 off ground beef, 15% off on aprons, 15% off cornhead beer, and buy one, get one 50% off on brats and hot dogs, limit 2. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G289358.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
1 out of 3 ain't bad. We got DP filling in alongside AO. Strick will be back tomorrow. Jay will be in before the end of the hour. He'll be in for old school. But for now, it's AO and DP, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Special ingredient butcher shop. Check them out online at themercadobutcher.com or stop by any of their 3 Lincoln locations, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, or 85th and Old Cheney. You can also hit them up in Omaha, 168th and Maple. Get to the Mercado for the best meat in town. DP, overall, your general reaction to the 7-game NBA Finals that Oklahoma City capped off with a Game 7 victory and its first title in Oklahoma City franchise history.
Good for them. Good for... If you are small market NBA, good for you. Shows that there is a way. Mm-hmm. There is a way. It's not just LA, New York, Boston. Nope, can't say it. Not just big city basketball. Mm-hmm. It's also that you don't have to do the absolutely ridiculous blockbuster trade deal, right?
Neither team did.
Your past was your past, and some of those assets showed up. Mm-hmm. But then again, that's why you did the blockbuster deals back then, was to get young talent, just to give you maybe get a diamond in the rough. Mm-hmm. You got a diamond in the rough because, quite frankly, he wasn't forecasted to be what he was. Neither was his running buddy. So, in that particular, this is not the Tatum Brown duo,
right?
Right. Well, you knew you bet from day one and
on 2 number 3 picks.
Right.
Yeah.
This falls in the Joker category of, we kind of got one here. Because I would guarantee Denver didn't know. They hoped, but they didn't know.
They were starting Yusuf Nurkic over Nikola Jokic.
Right. You know, like it's Jokic and Murray. Did we know? Gordon, did we know? No, we hope. We what Cedric, we wish. We wish. So for middle of the country, and again, you're talking about a Sonics franchise that moved to OKC, and Game 7 business hosting. While frustrating for Indiana, a win for Indiana to be there.
Pyrrhic victory,
right? To be there. They are closer to the world title than anybody else, is what I would say. Now, your best player was down
for all next year,
and the recovery is a beast. So 10 months in full, no matter what lie they tell you in September, right? Looks good.
You got a chance.
Head of events. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, go on out there. Go out there, Limpy. Go on out there. That's it. Especially in basketball. Like, no, bro. You're not standing in the pocket and you're not hitting bombs at home plate.
No. And you're not a spot-up shooter.
Right. You need to do some things. You need to do some things to get there. But they battled. And if you said to somebody that Indiana, the Pacers were 12 points behind without their best player, you have a lot to work because you're going to get a player. You might get another player, right? And all bets are off because when Durant lets you know that the shopping cart is open, anything's possible now. And quite frankly, if you're OKC, I'm looking straight at Phoenix. Like I'm driving to Phoenix right now. I'm in the car, top down. You know all those twos you got, all those 2s and 3s you got. Can I have one? So good for the NBA. Better ratings than expected. Better social media engagement than expected. And the full coordination of a legitimate superstar. It's not a question whether that young man is a superstar now. He's a superstar. He's in that category of Kawhi 6 years ago. Now, what he does with it from here is entirely up to him. But he can make a statement that only 3 other great Hall of Famers can make. So, hey, there's that. And I would not bet against OKC yet. Like, they're the best team. It's Ric Flair. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Well, nobody's beaten them for 5 months, and they get to rebuild and recover. So that's where tough entry.
Let's start on that aspect of things. If you are one of the other 29, but really 28 teams right now, you see Oklahoma City wins the championship. What are your takeaways from that? What did you learn from Oklahoma City about how you need to operate as an NBA franchise?
Well, just like every other major sport, championships determine the cycle. It determines the cycle of how business is going to be done, what the schemes are going to be in place, because the team to beat is OKC or Indiana, depending on where you are. And if you're Denver, you have to change. If you're the Lakers, you have to change. Length matters. Defensive aggression and high repetition, right? That you're willing to work 24 seconds from corner to corner, from mid lane to corner. Not everybody's willing to do that in today's NBA.
No.
They're not willing to do it. And the Pacers are willing to do it, but they just couldn't keep up with it. Like that, because the wear and tear to beat OKC on any given night is one thing. To beat them in a series where you have to be at your defensive and offensive best for 4 times better than them at what they do better than everybody. That's what you're looking at is length helps. Team awareness helps. And then having a coach who's willing to shoot his shot with not superstar players. Great players, but not superstar, not name brand superstars. And that's what I mean by that. I don't mean guys who can get up and down the floor as good as anybody. I mean, how many Chet home runs are there? There's one. That's it. And there's no real answer for it.
San Antonio thinks they have one, and that's
San Antonio's got, like, it's a short list. It's a short list. So closest might be San Antonio, because Wembanyama now can see what his impact can be if he has somebody beside him.
I still like Houston after the trade, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But no, I mean, OKC's the blueprint. A healthy Boston, I think that would have been a really fun series between the two of them. Indiana did show teams, though, that maybe Oklahoma City won, but they're not invulnerable. They're not invincible. You can get up in them. You can pressure them. You can force it to turn it over. You can force them to take tough shots. I mean, it's kind of behold the God who bleeds.
Is Boston going to do that, though?
Not next year. Tatum on the shelf.
Right. Like, I mean, that part, right? That if you had to target somebody, it's really weird that Houston is the first name that comes up.
Houston comes up. Let me also throw out Cleveland. Cleveland feels to me maybe in the boat where OKC was last year. Maybe a year ahead of schedule, way overachieved from what people thought they were going to be. They have the postseason letdown shortcoming. They can point back to some injuries, but maybe Kenny Atkinson found something. Next year's going to be the test, because right now they're a flash in the pan.
Do you learn? Do you learn what it takes to win it in a series? They were able to win every night. They were it's kind of the OKC thing, that they learned to win any individual night. Like they would keep spinning the wheel until some nights it's Spider, some nights it's Allen doing a different thing. Some night,
Mobley,
right?
Yeah.
It's a different person. But can you do that in a series where the matchup sucks for you?
Well, that's the test. Oklahoma City found that out the hard way last year, and they lost to Minnesota or Dallas.
Yeah.
They found it out the hard way. And again, it wasn't exactly easy for them this year. They got pushed to 7 by a mediocre good team in Denver. They were good, but a mediocre good team, just with the best player on the planet. Oklahoma City's not invincible. But they're darn good, and they seem sustainable.
I don't even think that invincible is a word that you can use in the NBA. I don't think you can use that. I don't think we've had an invincible team in 20 years. In 20,
the closest was supposed to be that 73-9 Golden State team, but
that's
they got 3-1.
Right, like that. That one, Kobe, Shaq, prime. But I don't think there's anybody else that was like,
invincible.
Wow, whoa! Like, no, go ahead and give them the ring. Like, crack the thing up, and cut it up. So I don't think that happens in the NBA, and I don't think it happens anytime soon. But OKC's ability to recreate what they did this year, to simply do the things that can they copy and mimic what they did this year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, Chet's going to be better in year 3, year 4. He's going to be better.
Essentially year 3, because he missed a year with injury. So
Hartenstein's going to be better, right? Because you're asking him to do less. Like, oh boy. So, and J-Dub gave you flashes, but he's Jaylen Brown to them. That you keep expecting that, quite frankly, one day he's going to look over at SGA and go, I got it. I got it. Like, this is my night. This is my time. So, easily mimicked. I think what the Milwaukee Bucks come up with, because they have the ability to change the way you defend and change. Now, are they willing to defend at the level that's required? But I'm not sure. Like, that's
can they with Brook Lopez probably out the door in free agency and or aging?
New York Knicks, same.
Don't have a coach yet,
right? Same. We don't even know, right? Like, we don't even know. So yeah, Orlando, Cleveland, Milwaukee, only because I have a sneaky suspicion that Giannis goes buck wild. Like, I think he's about to have the best year he's ever had, just out of frustration.
And he's had some pretty incredible years already.
Right. That he's
That's
gonna
an MVP.
Right. That he's gonna better up. From the West, here's on the marquee. It's still on the marquee. Who are the Lakers gonna be?
Right.
Like, now showing what's next for the Lakers. Because as much as you want to talk about Oklahoma City and talk about Denver, the story is in Los Angeles. New ownership, new money.
New money.
Old LeBron, new Question mark Luka?
Right?
Right? What Luka is showing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then who are you putting with him?
Yeah.
Because you're going to add one. You may add 1.5. I don't think they can add 2 because that's going to take a lot of money. But they're going to add 1 bona fide. And it's going to be a 1. Like, it's going to be somebody's top star is going to be a Laker with Luka and LeBron. I need to know who that is because it's going to change the whole scope.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be, look at the bottom 8 teams, look at the lottery teams, and tell me of the 8 lottery teams, which one is going to give up
their dude
for the future.
I'm glad you bring up the lottery because I think tanking in the NBA took a big kick to the nuts. You look at Dallas jumping up from the bottom of the lottery to winning it. NBA draft starts Wednesday, by the way. You see OKC in Indiana, who has not had a top 5 pick since 1988. Do you know the Pacers' last top 5 pick, DP?
Man.
Rick Smits.
I would have
Rick
said
Smits is the last
I would
top
have said
5 pick
center,
for the
but I
Pacers.
thought it was the center from Georgetown.
It was not Hibbert.
Yeah,
No.
that's where I would have went Hibbert.
And when you think about the Thunder, they never really tanked. They had a couple down years, but that was injuries. That was, we don't know what we're doing. We got to set a new direction with Russ or PG. Neither one of those teams bottom out, sell everything, full on tank. What the lesson that so many NBA teams are going to have to learn, especially in this new CBA world, is the get good lesson. Learn how to draft. Learn how to develop. Learn how to identify talent in the coaching ranks.
We don't want to be accountable. We don't want to be responsible.
The NBA has 2 fantastic models for saying it will work for you.
We want to draft.
Good.
We want to draft. We want to buy the Lamborghini. We don't want to build the Edsel. We don't want to do that, bro. We don't want to build it from scratch. We don't want to build it from scratch. We want it already made. Put it in there. Let's do that. We don't want any of that. Listen, I'm going shopping. If I'm any of those teams and I need one guy, and in most cases it's a guy and a half, so it's going to be a trade that I literally can pull. The Lakers can pull its bottom 5 players and its youngest superstar that is in the G League. Package them together for 2 of, and you need 1.5 of some bad team's best player. And immediately I'm looking at Utah, I'm looking at Washington, I'm looking at Charlotte, and I'm looking at New Orleans.
They tried Charlotte, and that got nixed. They tried Charlotte.
Like,
they tried that.
That the best player. Now, if you're the Lakers and Mr. Ball shows up to take some of, right, just to do other things, right? Because you can't count on him to carry the load for 82 games. No. Don't want to put that on him, right? But can I ask him to take some of the burden off? Ball handling, press break, all those things, transition, be the guy that sets up Luka and LeBron. Like, you guys don't need the ball in your hand the whole dang time. All right, but conversations, right? The Wizards have 3 players that, quite frankly, would help any team in the top third. So from the bottom third to build the top third to turns into the top 3, that's how it's going to play out. I just don't know which of the bunch. And Phoenix, I have to count Phoenix because Phoenix is going to be a yard sale.
We're going to talk about Phoenix in our next segment because they were at the center of something you might have heard about before the NBA Finals happened. On the day of Game 7 of the NBA Finals, we get another massive trade leaking, which is just kind of bananas and nuts. But before we get to that in our next segment, I do want to ask DP, obviously the Tyrese Halliburton Achilles is part of the story, an unfortunate kind of downer. We had 2 major downers on championship day, the Kevin Schnall ejection from the College World Series and the Tyrese Halliburton calf pop after he already hit 3 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You're hearing more and more cries on social media from some people saying, oh, the NBA schedule's too hard. Oh, the travel's too much. We're seeing more all-stars miss games in the playoffs. You saw Tatum go down. You saw Lillard go down. Now you see Halliburton go down. Do you give any credence to the shorten the regular season in terms of number of games or expand the regular season in length of time?
You want billionaires to cut their revenue stream. You're asking NBA owners.
I'm not asking.
I'm fan base. You're gonna as the NFL tries to add more games, right? Just to, you understand that college basketball is literally 35 games ain't so bad. They're young. They're young. They can run. Hey, let's add another SEC conference football game. Why? Money. It's the answer to everything. It's the answer to everything. Where it might be training. It might be overtraining. Hey, here's the dirty phrase of the day: overusage. We need to manage. What's the phrase, Austin? Load management. That maybe they're onto something. Maybe. Maybe. Can you imagine? Can I ask you this just honestly? What if load management is the right thing?
I have never been as against it as my two other co-hosts. I haven't. I understand the frustrations. I understand the optics.
I would love.
But Greg Popovich knows a thing or two about basketball.
I need a scientist. I need somebody. I need a trainer. I need somebody to tell me that load management is actually right. Because it would make way too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give it to me. Pour it in, shoot it straight into my veins. That you know what? You're asking the greatest athletes in the world to play that kind of game.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there is something to be said. We have some science and some data on this. As much as it doesn't seem like it sometimes, right? Oh, basketball is just one style. Oh, stand in the corner, watch driving kicks. Basketball players are moving more on average. They're moving further across the court horizontally in a spread out game, and they're playing faster. There are more trips up and down than there have ever been in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And, sorry, Strick, I'm going to say this, the NBA as a whole is more athletic than where you were in it.
Mm-hmm.
There were always the outliers, but there is more skill across the board. There's more athleticism across the board. It is a different game now than it was 5 years ago, than it was 10 years ago, than it was 20 years ago. There is legitimately, scientifically studied, it is trackable, more force, more wear and tear on these knees than there's ever been in the NBA. It's factual.
But there's also more muscle mass attached to those
players.
And the tendons and the killing. Look, hey, they didn't get stronger. We've built these superhuman beings with muscle mass and length that we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
But those things that hold them, you're asking, you haven't increased blood flow to the Achilles.
No,
that's the problem. Is that
still the human condition,
right? Somebody in a lab is going to figure out how to inject more blood into Achilles so that it never happens. But I don't know, the great gods. That's why Achilles. You can't say Achilles without screaming it the way they scream in the movie Troy. Achilles. Like we understand what this is. Like it's just come on. So I find it this way. Simplest for me, that sometimes it's taping, sometimes it's wrapping, sometimes it's flexibility, sometimes it's time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's time to heal, it's time to recover, the way to recover, because again, you're playing a more there are more miles per game being run by the average player in the NBA than there was 12 years ago, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But if you said, does that also mean that the players are getting better treatment? Is there better nutrition? Better facilities, better floors, right? Better gyms.
Playing on Terraflex are still hard,
right?
You know?
Better trainers. All of that. Now, better is relative because there are players who want their own trainer. They want somebody. You know what? That when I'm done at the end of the game, I need somebody, my own team of people, to stretch me and manipulate me in ways to get my recovery enhanced. But there are those who would, if you asked Dennis Rodman to stretch, he would have asked you, when'd you bump your head? Like, wait a minute. So again, it evolves and it's different. But when people start dropping, when stars start dropping, NFL concussion, okay, got to do it. Quarterbacks getting hit at the knees, okay. Linemen tearing ACLs, knee brace. like the adjustment happens. Baseball being hit on the elbow. Okay, elbow guards. They got to do that. Pitchers
breaking finger sliding into second base. Okay, oven mitt.
Got to wear the oven mitt. So the evolution of it is coming. Whatever version of it that needs to exist will exist soon, and then it will evolve again. You don't want injuries to be a part of it, but injuries is the one thing that moves sports needles second to money.
Mm-hmm.
It's
because
money.
Injuries are money.
Yeah,
superstars are out. People aren't going to come pay to see a superstar sit on the bench.
Yep, availability. It all matters. That's all the things.
Last thing, I know we're up against the clock. Old Dad 34 says basketball players don't play the game better than old school players. Your opinion is just that. Number one, that's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. Number two, maybe I want to make that point anyways. I'm not saying the best of the best did happen.
More
right?
athletic
across the board. Again, across the board.
If you're defining athletic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to whether it's mobile, hostile, agile, that a 7-footer 20 years ago did not run the floor, close out, rebound at epic level en masse,
right?
As they do now.
They were the outliers. I get that Arvydas Sabonis existed.
But Wes Unseld existed too.
Right. We're not denying that those guys
Wilt
weren't
existed.
studs.
Wilt
They're
existed,
incredible.
but Bob Lanier existed too. Like we understand that the mic and drill exists, and if you ask today's big man to use the mic and drill, he would ask you, "Who's your grandfather?" Right? Not understanding. We get it. Right. That listen, level of play is one thing, but defending from the midline. Extended. So I'm not even talking about directly under the rim. I'm talking about in the circle at the free throw line, midline from one end of the floor to the other end of the floor, to the extreme corners of the floor. Those triangles in folk, because there's 6 triangles that they have to defend from midline to corner or top of the key angle. You're asking 7-footers now to defend 32 feet. If you had asked Wes Unseld to close out on a corner jumper by Jack Sigma, he would have fought you. He would have fought you, and you'd have lost.
Well, and I think that's the other part of it, too, the athleticism, but also when I talk about skill level, the NBA has never had more good or above average shooters. Role players now, to DP's point, are spaced in the corners, are spaced 2 feet above the three-point line, where it's a longer closeout, and they're hitting these shots.
But they weren't allowed to. They weren't allowed. You could name. You know why Elvin Hayes is in the Hall of Fame? Because at 6'9", he was the first center, defined question mark air quotes, who was actually a power forward who would shoot the open three. Now his points per game would have gone up 1.5 had they had the 3-point shot when he was in the league. It didn't have Jack Sigma. They wanted to force him to be in a back to the bucket big man. That wasn't his game.
No.
Bill Laimbeer, you're 6'11". What are you doing out here shooting jumpers from the top of the key when he was one dribble away from shooting threes? The game evolves, the players evolve, the athletes evolve. And if you clock them in the 40, if you clock them in suicide sprints, if you clock them in bench press reps, the numbers have advanced and they are changed. They're just different. And that's okay. It's okay.
That it is. Let's take our break. A couple things from the text line to hit when we get back on our Starter Heyman Jewelers. Text line, he's DP. I'm Austin Norman. More after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through June 24th are $1 off ground beef, 15% off on aprons, 15% off cornhead beer, and buy one, get one 50% off on brats and hot dogs, limit 2. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
People always ask me, hey, Livy, what fuels you? Passion? Competition? The pursuit of greatness? None of those things. Raising Cane's is the only fuel I need. Their cooked-to-order chicken fingers always fills my tank, and the crinkle-cut fries and Texas toast are the perfect top-off for the perfect road trip. So when I'm running on fumes, I always refuel at Raising Cane's. But turns out, not everything's fueled by Cane's. Guess the old girl prefers her sauce unleaded. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Are you looking for a place to relax and unwind after a long week? Grotto Bar and Lounge is the perfect spot to enjoy a full menu and in-house DJs on Friday and Saturday nights. If you're wanting to start your Saturday or Sunday off the right way, stop by for brunch starting at 9 a.m. Don't forget, Grotto offers a full catering service as well for those graduation parties, birthday celebrations, and weekend family get-togethers. Give Grotto Bar and Lounge a call today at 402-261-3019 or visit them in person at 70th and A in the Clock Tower Shopping Center.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back into On the Block, this segment sponsored by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska. They offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. You can give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info at 402-430-3852 or by visiting them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. I'm Austin Orman, DP, sitting in for Jay and
What
Strick.
part of Nebraska was that?
Oh, all Nebraska, but they're based in Hallam.
Hallam,
Hallam, Nebraska.
Where's that?
Just south of town, a little south, slightly east.
Okay,
Not far.
I'm still
Not
a
far.
newbie when it comes to different places around
I
the
can't
state.
say I've ever visited Hallam,
Okay.
but Hallam is famous for getting absolutely rocked by a devastating tornado about 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Things to know.
So John and Cortland, right? One of our favorites here on the text line. So I guess it's south and slightly west.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Okay.
So mostly south though.
Yeah, no, I have to often, like, I'll hear a town or a city, and I'll go, word?
You what?
Word? So yeah, lots of it. Where do you want to go?
Let's go to the text line here.
Okay.
Start with Mississippi Mud Dog. Says, if a team purposely slowed their pace down as a way to reduce wear and tear over the course of a season so their stars are more fresh at the end when it counts, would that work? Obviously, they still have to defend the other team, so they can't control that, but it was just a thought. Also, if they slow the pace down, they may not win enough to be there at the end, so it'd be an obsolete question at that point, but who knows?
Worked in college.
I was going to say.
North Carolina, Duke, Georgetown. There were teams that...
You're forgetting the recent one, Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
Bennett. Virginia.
Efficiency over pace.
And when I see a strategy like that, number one, it's on the table. It's on the table. It's a valid question. But more often than not, when you're the more talented, better team, you want more possessions to prove it. Right?
Gimme.
You typically want more possessions to prove that you're the better team. So you typically end up playing at a faster pace because the fewer possessions there are, the less margin for error you have on any given night.
The more effective or productive you are, the pace increases. If I can do a thing well, I want to do that thing well more. Often.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that if I'm efficient with the ball and I protect it and I don't turn it over, I want more offensive possessions.
Mm-hmm.
I want more offensive possessions.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not good at it, I want to slow it down so that, again, when chaos happens, slow down, chaos ceases to exist on purpose, right? On purpose. That Virginia, Duke, North Carolina went 4 corners.
Yeah.
Listen, 98% of the country hated Phil Ford, Dean Smith, and the 4 corners. They hated it because, first of all, why don't you play? Well, they are playing. They're just doing a thing better than you can defend it. There's nothing there was nothing more dreaded in the world. Austin, glad you're not alive as a Duke fan. You weren't alive during the Phil Ford, North Carolina 4 corners era. Because
I've heard the horror stories, and that's all I'm going to get, and I'm okay with it.
So I'm just telling you, when Phil Ford with the elbow pads and knee pads, when he shot those 4 fingers in the air, you could hear the national groan. Oh, here they go. Here they go. And they would run the 4 corners. There's no shot clock.
Nope.
They would run it. And guess what? No matter how you defended it, layup.
Layup. Right. They'll get there eventually.
Layup. And wait a minute. They do it 3 times. It'd be a 6-0 run.
Over the course of 17 minutes.
We hate you so much. I'm still traumatized by that offense.
Ohio Husker says the 24-second shot clock in the NBA makes slowing it down a little tougher as well. I mean, that's part of it. But here's this. We don't understand just how good NBA players are at making shots and how good NBA defenders are at preventing shots.
Yes. You've
seen them up close and personal. I haven't seen an NBA game in person. I've been up close to some athletes.
Oh,
right?
You got to fix that, bro.
I know.
You got to fix that.
I don't have like the team in the NBA.
You don't need
a
team.
I haven't been in a city where there's been a game going on at the right time. It hasn't worked out. It's on my list, obviously.
Go to a city, for crying out loud. It's basketball.
It's basketball. I know.
What are you doing with your life?
Not the right things.
You haven't been to Cameron?
I've not been to Cameron.
Okay, Austin Orman, my hand to heaven. You need to get your tail to Cameron. I'm going to hold you to getting to Cameron for a Duke game this year.
Oh, boy. Okay. See what we can do. But, I mean, I've watched enough college basketball.
Melissa, I'm sorry. But come on. Go ahead.
We just don't understand how different these athletes are. And as easy as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander makes it look sometimes, as easy as Nikola Jokic makes it look sometimes, they hit some ridiculous crap. There are some dudes that stonewall them for 23.8 seconds. They throw something up, it goes in. It's luck, it's skill, it's a combination of the two. Unless you steal the ball, someone can get a shot up, it can go in. There's never been more tough shot making in the NBA, I would argue. I'll throw that out there. I would also say this. It's incredibly inefficient. To your point, you want to do something that you're good at more often. The reason teams don't slow it down, the reasons that players move is because that's the best way to create an efficient shot in basketball. The more you stand, the more you play one-on-one, the more you're going to take contested shots. That every player in NBA history, over a large enough sample size, hits at a lower rate.
Steph Curry is the greatest tough shot maker in the history of the NBA.
Yes. And he's the exception.
And he runs through more. So the idea is that
Steph's superpower is his cardio.
If I can get you to take a shot quickly, I'm at an advantage. But the reality is the longer I make you defend me, the more likely it is that when I decide to take my shot, I can get it off.
You will probably have miscommunicated. You will be one step behind over the course of 24 seconds, which gives me just enough space to get the shot off.
3 picks, change the location and
6
elevation,
passes.
right? Like it's all sorts of things in place. So yeah, all of that plays. Being productive and efficient matters. Shooting good shots, but most of today's players, first of all, they take more shots than we ever took.
Oh yeah.
They train way more than years past. Like we could isolate and go, Jordan and Kobe were the workers. All them dudes are in the gym now all the time. Now they may not be doing good work, but they're there. They're there. So yeah, the game is different. Slowing it down. Slow it down if you are good at slowing it down. Don't slow it down for the sake of slowing it down.
Right. And that's where having a guy like a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, we saw throughout the eastern half of the conference, playoffs, Tyrese Halliburton, the Pacers played fast. They moved the ball more than anyone else. At the end of the game, they didn't go away from their identity, but they had tough shot makers. They had clutch shot takers and makers.
Yeah.
That's why, here, I'll speak to this. You mentioned Cameron. Duke slowed it down too soon against Houston. Same way they did in Charlotte against Carolina. They escaped the first time. They didn't the second time. Because why? They started playing iso ball against a lockdown defense that forced tough shots, and they didn't hit them. When the ball moves, when players move, you get more open shots than if you trust one guy to go create for you.
And you need one little lamb to be a step slow.
That's all it takes.
And sometimes I know, running systems and understanding how it works. I could say, fifth pass, we're going to get a layup. Because you watch somebody start to lose a step and you go, okay, make them make two more cuts and then we'll get a layup. It's coming.
I want to hit on this from Mississippi Mud Dog as well. None of them were in the gym more than the Mamba was. Stop using the outliers to prove our point.
Yeah.
We know Kobe's different. We know Jordan is different.
Yep.
We get it. It's like saying, why can't pitchers today do what Nolan Ryan did? They're the outlier. He is a freak of human nature, throwing 85 to 60-some years old for a first pitch. Well, I know that those guys were really good.
Okay.
They're not the point I'm trying to make.
But I'm actually going to lean against it in the fact that, you know what? Steph Curry was in the gym way more than Kobe.
He had to be. He's 6'3" in the NBA.
He was 6'3", but you know what? His little brother was on his heels. His daddy was was at the time one of the 10 best shooters in history.
Yeah.
Right. His mom was still a better shooter than he was.
Yeah.
Right. he spent his time in the gym because undersized, underappreciated, unrespected. Kobe did work. Let's be clear. Kobe Jordan did work.
Yeah, we're not denying that.
But today's player has logged more minutes, and that's part of the injury problem.
More AAU, more club, more travel.
And it's not even close. It's not even close. How many games kids play in AAU and travel ball baseball before they get to college? And you, wait a minute, the arm is done, bro. The rotator's done. Because you've been abused by less talented coaches and unaware parents who didn't set a boundary and say, you know what? You don't need to play 140 games in the summer. You don't need to pitch. You don't need to have 20 starts in July and August. What is wrong with you?
And degrade the quality of AAU basketball all you want, as we certainly have on the show, you're still playing the games.
You're still playing the games.
You're still traveling.
And the bodies aren't formed yet. They're not strong enough to play more games.
No.
So listen.
Play better games, not more games.
Well, soapbox time. European players practice more. They practice more. They spend more time on the court at practice. They don't play 120 games in the summer. They have 90 practices for you to be more effective in what the game is going to ask of you. That's why when European players come over here, they've had 90 more practices than the kid who's playing at college. That's just the way it works. So, yeah, I have some understanding. You can't always follow the ESPN headline and the story that you were told once. Yes, outliers are exceptional. That's why they're outliers. But for the masses, I can tell you, today's college baseball player played way more games before he got to college than I did. They played more games while they were in college than I did. That's just how it worked. And I'm okay with that. But I would have production because I practice more. I practice more. I was in the cage more. I took more grounders. I took more fly balls. I made more relay throws. That's why. Come on, people.
Doug from mesothelioma, or Doug with mesothelioma. European players aren't being taught just zone because their coaches are hell-bent on winning a 7th grade basketball tournament.
Amen. Amen. Well, but here's the thing, that you put the future of these sports that we love in the hands of people who aren't in it for the games. Mm-hmm. They're in it for cash. AAU coaches, listen, I'm sorry. Some of my best friends are AAU coaches and travel baseball coaches. And we go at it all the time. I understand that you are the leech. I get it. You exist. You have to exist. The reality is, though, I have to polish the turd that you delivered to my high school. I have to polish that turd into a presentable, almost grown-up that I'm going to send to college with my name attached to it. Mm-hmm. And that's the deal.
The deal is we got to take our final break of the show. We'll wrap up On the Block after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
An exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Is your child 7 to 8 years old and wanting to get involved in competitive baseball or softball? The Nebraska Dominators have been active in the youth sports community since 1994 and are currently holding tryouts for their 7U and 8U baseball and softball teams. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more info today and provide your player the path to a successful and enjoyable youth sports experience with the help of the Nebraska Dominators.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green.
Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
One final segment for On the Block, brought to you here finally in this segment by Love Volleyball. Omaha, get your tickets today. Renew your season tickets or get them for the first time. LOVBOMA.com. All right, DP, we'll wrap up our NBA Finals discussion with this. I think the Pacers made a lot of fans, a lot of neutral fans. It sounded like we're pulling for the Pacers to pull off their run, take down the 68 win, best point differential in NBA history, juggernaut, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Who were the other quote-unquote lovable losers that captured the imagination and the hearts of NBA fans like the Pacers? The last one that comes to mind for me was Bubble Jimmy Butler. When he had the coffee line going, he was dragging that ragtag, band of scallywags in the Heat to the finals against the Lakers. That's really the last time I remember the loser getting this sort of accolade and praise and attention.
Well, the injury certainly plays. The Buffalo Bills fall into it if it were the NFL. Just so many opportunities. The Seattle Seahawks.
Have the Bills ever won a Super Bowl?
No.
Has that ever happened?
No. Seahawks.
Maybe I should mention that to Jay.
Seahawks. Oh, no, he'll fight you. He'll fight you over that. Seahawks and what should have been the most winnable Super Bowl in all of history that you just decided to do a thing. It happens. The Baltimore Colts back in longevity when Jimmy Orr standing alone in the end zone. Jackie Smith has got to be the sickest man in America for dropping a touchdown in the end zone against the Steelers. It fully happens. Joe Theismann's decision to try to throw again over Jack Squirek. No, he's already seen that play, Joe. He's already seen that play. Marcus Allen then running through the entire defense. Lovable losers are a part of sports. It exists. I mean, the Red Sox built a whole identity.
Their brand.
They built a whole identity on being the Cubs. Lovable losers. Oh,
so sweet.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. The Royals are the most lovable of all. Yeah, they are literally the one that you just want to hug. Like if there was ever a baseball organization that you just, the Royals are trying again. Look at, well done. Like the Royals don't suck. Well done, Royals. Like we applaud them for not being basic. And hey, not for nothing, but the boys down the street, you finished your regular season 500. Yay! Let's throw a parade. Let's throw confetti for everybody. Confetti.
Let's switch up the conversation a little bit. Your favorite team who didn't win a title?
Oh, easily that 83 Redskins team.
Okay.
Easily the 83 Redskins team that was the most prolific offense in history. History. It was an amazing team. Defended well, all that. They just ran into that day a team that had been in their playbook and went through it. Also, Jay's Buffalo, Scott Norwood. Scott Norwood is a friend, and it's the conversation that you have that, oh my goodness. You're think about the difference in what 7 feet will do, right? That 7 feet would change.
One Chet Holmgren.
Change the history of the NFL in those discussions. Ernest Biner fumbling on the way into the end zone that leads to the drive, right? That Elway doesn't become Elway without Ernest Biner fumbling.
Elway doesn't become Elway if he makes the right decision to play baseball for the lovable loser Kansas City Royals, but that's another story.
Yeah, he still isn't forgiven for that. Like
nor is Marino.
Right, it needs to be said that you were terrible. I miss the days of lovable loser Red Sox. Like Steve Bartman gives me the chuckles. Like I giggle every time somebody says the name Steve Bartman because it was like, oh man, Cubs are gonna cub, bro. They
gotta cub.
Cubs gotta cub. Cubs gotta cub.
They are.
But the Red Sox go deeper with me because Bucky bleeping Dent. Like just to go through like that home run over the wall by Bucky Dent.
Bucky bleeping Dent.
Bucky bleeping Dent is so rich. It's chef's kiss good.
Then Aaron Boone, The spiritual
Aaron
successor.
Boone, right. Aaron Boone. I'm not sure I've ever felt as bad for an organization as the then California Angels, who rally against the Red Sox and then lose it on a home run, and their reliever never recovered. He never recovered from that.
Here's one up your alley. He-Man says, here's my definition of lovable loser. The Dallas Cowboys. I love to watch them lose.
That's not lovable, though. That is venomous and on purpose. Like, I root against them. Lovable losers, the team you root for, and they never make it. Like, they never get it. There are teams that have never played in the Super Bowl, World Series, in NBA Finals, in Stanley Cup Finals, or in a bowl game.
Right.
That have never won national. Oh, Iowa, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? That poor, lonesome, empty National Football Championship trophy case. Just sitting there all by itself. All lonesome and whatnot. Light on, shining on nothing. Right. Just shining down on nothing. You built the trophy case and there's nothing in it. Nothing.
You spent money on wood. You spent money on glass. You spent money on brackets and nuts and bolts.
Thank you, Caitlin Clark, for giving us a trophy. Because otherwise,
nada. My dad chimes in. He does bring up the 2014 Royals. They are very high on my list of teams that are my favorite to have never won the championship.
Yeah,
that's lovable.
The Jags.
Oh, you're cute.
The Jags. Yeah. You're right. The Jaguars. Oh man, that's so tough. That's so tough.
Are the Arizona Cardinals in that boat?
Yes, because you had a shot against Pittsburgh. Like, you had that one, and it was sitting right there for you.
You didn't get it done.
James Harrison, all the way back.
Gotta get it, big man. DP, appreciate you sitting in. Thanks
no worries.
East DP, I'm AO. Jay Foreman here for Old School with Foreman and Norman. We'll get you there right after this.